Hi, I'm going to show you how to create a plot, which is part of a course called Intro to R. This is quite a pragmatic session. The goal is to create a plot from your data. So it's not like showing everything you may possibly need. No, we're going to create a plot today, and you need to read up when there is nobody available to help you. We're going to use a book for this, R for Data Science, which has chapters that shows what you need. So again, I'm going to create a plot from your data. I will show you how this may look like, and we will work through the example, but first you have an idea. Let's imagine you have this data. Then you use some R code, I'll show it soon, to create this reasonably pretty figure. This reasonably pretty figure can be saved to, for example, a scalable vector graphic, and then you can continue working on it. The R code, I'll show it here. This is how the R code looks like. I'll make it a bit bigger there. And we see that we are, we'll just skim through it because we go through it a bit quicker. Here we read the data. Here we transform the data. Here we plot it, but that's very ugly. Here we rename. The data, so the columns of the data needed a different name. The country needed to be fixed. The T, I think this is the year, needed to be fixed. And here we have it plotted, and here we have it saved. Here we have an even fancier version that has a title and so on. And here we have that one saved. Alright, so this is what we're gonna do, but then in a more slower pace. We're gonna create a plot. So the goal of this example I'll be using is the data from the Wikipedia article of world population. I'll use a subset of it. But the steps will be to prepare the data, reading it, tidying it and cleaning it. You'll see how I do that. Saving it, and then you can refine it in either R or your favorite SVG editor like Adobe Illustrator, for example. 1. Preparing your data. So here we have our data. This is from this Wikipedia article. It's laid out like this, and we can understand why it is laid out like this. We see the country, we see the year, and this is the world population in millions, I believe. This is a layout that saves space. It's called a wide format. It won't be easy to plot things with it, so we'll make it into a tidy format. How do we get this data? Well, you save it as a comma separated file. So there are many ways to do this. For example, I copy paste this data in Excel or LibreOffice. I paste it here, there. So now I have the data in my Excel sheet or my LibreOffice calc sheet, and then you click on Save As. Here you click on, at the bottom you click comma separated file, there, and I'm going to call it world population, something like this. I'm going to use comma separated file format. I accept all this. Now I have a comma separated file called world population. Or that's one way to do it. I can also show you how it looks like. Cat world population. So this is the file content I've just shown here in text. This is how it looks like. What you would expect. Good. When we have this file, then the next step is to read it. So when your file is saved as something, so in this example they used the word introduction to, sure, and let's take a brief look. It's exactly the same file. There, it's exactly the same. They just called it differently. And they read it like this, with the function called readCSV from a library called Reader. So maybe you need to install Reader. How do you do that? You go in RStudios, you go to Tools, you click on Install Packages. There you type the word Reader, click on it, you click Install, and then it will install. You just click Yes, Opa. And now you have it installed. You can see it will take some time to install, and then you have Reader installed. Good. This is run from RStudio. This is run in R code. And then you have it in memory. Then you have a table called T. Let's take a look if we can already run the code. Library reader T. Like I can imagine it does not work yet when it's installing. So apparently just a new version came out. This is how you read the code. I'll show you later how this looks like. But now we have a problem that for our case the data must be transformed to be tidy. Tidy data is defined most strongly in this book called Tidy Data, R for Data Science, written by Hadley Wickham, who came up with the idea of using this format together with his colleagues of tidy data. He writes a lot about this. Tidy data, each variable is a column, you can read this yourself. We need to change our data to that data format. Let's take a look. This is how it should look like instead. And what we then see is that suddenly each column makes sense, because now we have the country called China or India. When we would rename this to year, then suddenly we know what this is, and value, we know that this should be like world population in millions. So the format is tidy, although but the labels are not yet tidy. But this indeed is a tidy data format, because here we have two things that are given, and there is one measurement at the same time. Tidy data. And you do that with this R code using the library tidier, and you use the function pivot longer. How do I know all this? Well, because there are chapters in the book how to do this that describe exactly that. We do have a problem yet with our data. If we now would plot it, it will fail. Can I show this already? Yeah, let's show it. Let's show it there. Here we have Reddit. Here we have tidy data. Let's take a look. T looks like this now. Good. Country name value. If we plot it, it looks like this. That doesn't look like what we want, although most of the thing is correct here. The problem is that country. Let's take a look. What is the problem if I do run it like this? So it's not very good. Like name should be year, value should be population, and there should be some lines here. So even though we have geom_line here, which allows you to make a line chart, it does not work yet. And that is because it thinks that the years are factors, are words that have like red, orange, blue, like that are factors. So here we're going to tidy up our data. We're going to rename the column names. So the column names are now country name value. Return to country, time point, world population there. We change the country to a factor. Like a country is not just a set of characters, it's a factor, it's a set. There are like more than 300 countries, and you could see that as a factor. Also, we're going to make this t.t, the year, we're going to make this numerical. Then we can see here that they were like words. And if we take a look now at how these look like, we see these are now values. If you now take a look at my table, you also see it's displayed differently. We see country, year, time point, world population, nicely formatted. And if you plot it now, you'll see the how it looks nicely. But let's go back to the material because I'm a bit of ahead. So agreed, I have showed you how to clean up the data our data looked like this, and then this is how we turned the data into. Well done. And now we can finally plot. And I have just showed you that. Alright, with that we can easily save our plot, both as a scalable vector graphic or PNG, whatever you prefer. Most formats work. It's not done yet, so that is in the course material. That is step 6. This is how it looks like now. You probably want to find out how to do things differently. You can say, well, I'm going to use some kind of tool and modify the scalable vector graphic. Sure, you can absolutely do that. But sometimes it's easier to use R or to find out how to do it in R. So here we have some kind of code that adds a lot of things. I'll show this in RStudio. Here it uses both the geoms line and point. So not only does it show the line, but on the same points it will show a point. So you have a bit of an idea. I can show it like this. If you like that, I like that, so that's why I've done it. The x-axis should have a proper label. This would be called time in years. So if I do that, now we see that the x-axis shows time in years. The y-axis should have a proper label, which has in millions, and I also let it go from 0 to unspecified. So this means it should start at 0, and NA means taking the maximum value. There. So now we have a more honest comparison between the countries. I think a title would be a good idea. Population size and time. Yeah, that's I don't know what this does. I'm going to remove it there. And I can. And this color is country. It makes this C big. Here I say, if you have the labels of the color indicator, set the label of it to country. If I put in something like this and I run it, you'll see that here it's set like that. Good. So now I have a prettier plot. This will not take me too much work to find this out, and I can save this again and modify this. Good. With that, doing all these fancier things, that's more in chapter 11 of the book where you can find it. And also there is so much to tweak, and you can the web has many examples of ggplot. Using an AI probably also would work well enough at this point. So that's the exercise. Create the plot you need for this course. You can follow the steps at how the book describes it if you want. Oh, that's my book. Follow the steps at my session. Read the book chapters if needed. Search the web or use AI to get what you need. There are 2 more things you can consider using, which is the ggplot2 overview of plots, which is here. If you scroll down, here's the all kind of plots that it can create. It's a lot. Like there are finally some more prettier plots at the bottom. Good. So that's just, and then you can just click on the plot and see what the code is. So here they see how they do that. The other thing, the ggplot2 cheat sheet. So the ggplot cheat sheet shows you like everything combined of ggplot2. For example, all the geoms, like the global, the geoms, like if you want to use a line, geom rect, geom ribbon, geom point, if you want to do a scatter plot, geom text, if you want to put text, line segments, here we have line segments, geom line, there we have it, no, app line, geom line, it's all there. Good. Here we have a geom line, geom area, geom step. Like most of the plot types you can find already here. Well, no, most of the plot types are there. Most of the geoms. So if you think, maybe I should look up something quickly there, you can do it on this cheat sheet. With that, I've walked you through how to create a plot. I wish you good luck in creating this plot. And with this, I wish you a very good day too. Hej då!